TinkerCAD tips, welcome back. This is part 2 of the tutorial on the twist lock container lid, and this is kind of what we're going for here. We have a lid with some divots in it, and when you put the lid on, it follows this groove in the bottom part of the container. And if we flip this over, you can see, make this transparent. And as we move this down, it'll follow that groove, and then we turn it. So this is where we were. We were working on the lid here. We had just finished the lid part of it, and we had grouped these small half spheres into the lid itself. So let's bring back the stuff that we had hidden. Control-Shift-H. There we go. Now what I want to do for the moment here is let's take this lid, rotate it over, and for this, just for the moment, we'll make it transparent to make sure that everything still lines up. So you see here I have my hole shapes that I need to use next. We'll make that untransparent. While it's selected, I'm going to hide it. Control-H. Oop, let's undo that. Let's hide this portion of it. We still have to merge in those half spheres to the lid. So there's our hole shape. We'll hide that. There we go. Let's select the two of those, group those together. Let's go ahead and make it multicolor. There we go. Now let's unhide everything. Select that. Let's rotate that over. There we go. Let's make the lid transparent. Everything still lines up. Let's hide that. Control-H. And what we're left with here still is these hole shapes, the other half, that will make the groove in the lower half of the container from. So we're going to zoom in here. We're going to make sure that that hole is selected. I'm going to click Duplicate. Now down here, I'm going to change my snap grid to 0.5 millimeter, and holding down the Control key, I'm going to cursor up. And then I'm just going to continue to hit Control D, or you can click on this Duplicate button up here, either one. And I'm going to continue doing that until it goes beyond the edge of the bottom part of our container. There we go. Now we have to make the part that goes to the left. I'm going to zoom in to make sure I have just that one selected. Click Duplicate. I'm going to click on the Rotate button here. I'm going to put in 0.5 degree. Oop, let's go -0.5. I want it to go to the left. Zoom in here, begin hitting Control D, and we're going to go around a little bit, make sure this can be twisted on far enough. There we go. Zoom out. Now let's select all of that and group that together. Once it's done rendering and grouping all those together, this is what you'll have. The bottom portion of the container with a groove in it that's just slightly larger than the divot, the half sphere on the inside of the lid. Let's bring the lid back. Control-Shift-H. There's our lid. Let's make it transparent and zoom in. You can sort of see there's a little bit of tolerance between that half sphere on the lid and the channel that's in the bottom portion of the container. So when we lift up, it'll ride through there. And then if we turn it, see, when grab that, there we go. It'll lock on. Now, given your printer and circumstances, you may want to adjust the tolerances on this outside edge of the lower portion of the container in the lid, I left for a 1 millimeter gap here. You want to make that just half of a millimeter. And also the tolerance between this half sphere solid that's on the lid and this gouge that's in the lower portion. I made mine 1 millimeter larger, half millimeter on both sides. You may want to decrease that for a little bit more snug fit. And of course, you could then extend this and do bevels or radiuses on the top of this lid and the bottom portion of it. But there you go. That's your TinkerCAD tip and how to make a twist lock container and the lid for it. As always, like, follow, and share. Particularly share and favorite. That's good for the algorithm and gets my channel out there in the views. If you have any comments or questions, you know where to leave those. Drop me a comment. Or if you have other things in TinkerCAD you'd like to learn, let me know. DM me or drop me a comment.